Doing? I'm trying to find my page here. So I can visit with you guys if you come on. Page here. Okay, it looks like we just send out the alerts. So welcome to my channel. My name is Tina, and I'm going to be doing some love readings today. I'm going to start with, sorry, I had a drink. I'm going to start with Aries, and then I'm going to see what's going on with you and your person. Let's see, we'll start with this just regular tarot, shall we? Spirits, angels, guides, thank you for being with me today. Help me give clear, accurate messages for the sign of Aries. We're wanting to look at them and their person. So let's get a few cards for Aries. And if you're a cross watcher, I mean, you might want to switch around the energy. I don't know. Even if you're not, the other person might work for you, right? So I feel like you're hanging on to something and you want to rush forward. I feel like you've been patient. I feel like you've learned strength. But whoever you're thinking about really is your wish fulfillment. And I feel like you're hanging on to someone very specific, Aries. And so here on the other side, we'll go, what's going on with the other person? Well, it looks like they started something new and they're winning, like 10 of Pentacles, right? The 6 of Wands. And then in the center, there's 10 of Wands, the Devil, and 3 of Pentacles. So whatever's going on, they're wore out. They're tired. They're even being controlled by something, you know, with the Devil card here. So I don't know which one of you this is. But I definitely feel like it has something to do with work. I think this person over here started something, but it's really a lot, and it takes up all their time, all their headspace, Aries. This person on the right could be you. Let's see. Let's see about the Island Tarot. Let's look at the person on the left and see what's going on with them. It looks like you were really happy, but you're, you know, like almost maybe closed off or not letting yourself all the way go in. You want to, but I feel like you've surrendered this. You want it still, but I think what happened to person number one is that it just took all of their strength to just say, I'm going to let go of the outcome of this. You know what I mean? So I think person one is kind of like not telling how they really feel. They're holding their cards close to their chest, you know, not letting this person understand what they mean to them. For some reason, you're hiding it, or person one is hiding it, right? I do feel like person one is definitely gossiping and talking about moving on, being happily single. I feel like that's what they're telling their friends, right? But what they really want is love. They want an engagement ring. And they feel like this person over here is almost like addiction. And then I see that there's a transformation for this person, person one. Something happened. There was a sudden change. There was a surprise. Tell me more about this transformation. I think the transformation might have happened with when you said, or whoever said, Spirit, I give. So they're definitely, this person over here is definitely letting go of person two, is what I'm seeing. Just like I said with that Queen of Cups. So over here with person two, like they're successful. They have money. They are a major manifester over here. Aries. And the runner card comes out. So it's implying that this person kind of ran away. They feel like the relationship is completely over. They sabotaged it. Somewhere inside themselves, person two kind of wants to get together and talk about it. I guess I forgot to put the chat on. Hi, all two of you. How's it going? Thanks for the likes and all that. Thanks for watching. Clarify this devil card. What the hell is that going? What is going on with the devil here? Breakup, separation, stopping the pattern. They're giving the silent treatment. They're abandoning person one. They just felt like it was too much. I feel like they're meeting someone new. I feel like they have a lot of options. And isn't that funny that the breakup, separation, and silent treatment is clarifying the axe? Twin flames is out. Doesn't surprise me because of the runner card, right? So this person over here, if you have a twin flame, this person over here could be aware of it, but is in denial, right? Like they're like, fuck that. I'm not letting anybody or anything boss me around. I feel like this person over here, person two, kind of wants to call. Deep down, they're heartbroken. They really are. They are heartbroken. I'm going to get some of these lover, I don't know what they are, the lover oracle. So these are different. I just got these. And I don't know if I've used them yet, so who knows what they're going to be. Spirit, thank you for this new deck of cards. Help me understand. Create a pipeline between me and you so I can understand exactly what this reading is saying with these cards. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's look at person one again. These cards, let's see what's the passion. They love the passion. I feel like this person also has like a low self-worth. They don't think that person two believes in them, or maybe even other people too. They're really hanging on to this belief that no one believes in them, person number one. I wish I could be fully honest with you, is what they're saying to person two. What else? Let's clarify. Is it over? They're asking. Is it over for real? This person over here is under the impression this is a karmic relationship because of all the triggers. But this person on number two, I think they think it's a twin flame. You know, like that's how they're feeling, is that this is a twin flame relationship. This person number one, I don't know where to start. So I feel like they want to talk. Tell me about the addiction card here. Let's clarify that addiction. This addiction is being clarified by I can't express myself. I'm blocked. Emotions overwhelm me, and childhood trauma. So this person one is actually pretty hung up on person number two. But they also have a lot of shit going on, you know? They have a lot of deep feelings that they don't even know what to do with. Emotional. All the way to childhood. Nobody knows what to do with that shit, huh? You try to let it go, but it just like lingers in the back of your mind. That's probably why people don't believe in me is here. You know what I mean? Because this childhood trauma, they probably picked that up when they were a child. So let's check on person number 2. This person feels like it's over. They're the runner. They're the ones who caused the breakup. They're the one who sabotage, and they're out dating other people right now. And here's what they're saying. What do you see in me? And they're telling me that this person over here really hurt them. Person number 1 hurt me. And then they're talking about the passion too. The heat between us is so intense. And that makes sense with a twin flame. I can't stop thinking about you. So even though this person is the sabotager, the runner, the blocker, they can't stop thinking about person number 1. And they're saying like, they don't like the way, don't treat me the way you do. I don't deserve it. And person number 2 is saying, will this pain ever stop? And again, with the passion I feel is so overwhelming. I don't know how to handle this. And at the bottom of the deck is, I wish I could understand you. So, and I think they're still in hiding here. I can't come to you now. Sometimes these relationships are so intense, huh? Okay, so now we're going to get a little romance angel action going on here and see what's going on. I got my table back. How's that? Oh, I must have these. Okay, so this person has romantic feelings, and I think that the angels are saying that it's worth exploring, you know? Express your love, the angels are saying. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from the usual type and expectation. Stay optimistic about your love life, and you deserve love. You are lovable. And I think that's really important for person number 1, because I think that might be a big part of the problem, Aries. This person number 1, it's holding on to this childhood trauma. And I feel like the childhood trauma is that this person doesn't feel, they don't understand why anyone would love them. I think they didn't get loved as a child, is what I feel like. On person number 2 is thinking about going on a getaway. I feel like this person, this is the one that sabotages, right? And blocks and all of this stuff. But this person fantasizes about person number 1. Like, I want to go on a date. I want to go on a vacation. They want to get to know you again. I don't know how long that you've been separated, but I feel like this person over here feels like maybe there's been inauthenticity on 1 or 2 parts, right? And so they're like, maybe I'd like to go on a vacation and get to know this person for real. Have some heart-to-heart conversations. And I think, honestly, I feel like they really want to move to another level. And they feel like person number 1 could be the one. So if this person is a person that's afraid of commitment, that could be why they're running. And that could be why they're hiding. That could be why they're, sorry, I must have shuffled these upside down. I don't really like that. So I really kind of feel like it seems like this person's the one that did all the damage, but they're not over it. They're not freaking over it. And they want something to change. They think about it all the time. They fantasize about it all the time. Let's see. Let's see, we'll get some of these hidden messages and see what happens here. If person one could say something to person two, what would they say? You're going to say, or person number one saying, I'm not available. And they're saying, I left you before you could leave me. And then they're saying, the timing just wasn't right for us. So this person, they want to be with this person, but they're definitely holding up a big wall in front of themselves. This person number two is saying, I lost myself for a little while. I want to be more than friends. I am becoming a better person. I feel like this person is working on their self. I wish I could be different. I wish things could be different. I know I was a distraction from your pain. So they could feel like in some way like that's what this was all about, you know? Sounds like someone's weed eating out there. Is it too loud out there? Hi, Erica. Happy Friday to you. It's nice to see you. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. Let me see if I can... I've got this new deck. Let's see what these angels have to say for you guys. Let's first get one message for person number one. Person number one. Angels, what do you got to say for person number one? Abundance. I feel like what this is saying is, it's because it's kind of like, you know, advice is what I'm asking, and abundance. I feel like maybe it's important for you to like focus on all the good things that you have around you now. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we just focus on like, you know, you've got this childhood trauma. So I kind of feel like sometimes the way out of that kind of mentality, like I'm not lovable, because this person is feeling like that, like they, and spirit is saying, you know, you are lovable. So I feel like it's important for you to like look around you and maybe just be grateful. Do some gratitude exercises. You know what I mean? Like I saw this one really cool, I don't know if it was TikTok or whatever, but it was somebody going outside and like looking at all their flower beds, you know, and like looking at each flower and saying, you're my favorite. You're my favorite. Thank you so much for being here. And see how that turns around your day. If you don't have a flower garden, just, I mean, do it with whatever you want. You could go to a park and say it to every tree. I mean, trees have so much energy. Person number two. I feel like spirit is working with person number two because it says look for signs and it says don't stop, and I feel like what's happening is your growth. You are growing, you know, because you start out like feeling, you know, burdened by this relationship, even though you do feel something pretty deep, right? I feel if there's anyone out here, person number two, I feel like I'm wondering if you have some kind of health issues from this grieving of this relationship, because you're the one, you're the runner, but you're the one that did the blocking and the sabotaging and all that stuff. But now you're like you've turned this new page and you're kind of like, you know, taking better care of yourself, you know, loving yourself more. If it's a twin flame relationship, that is exactly what the twins do, is they trigger the other one into loving themselves. So I feel like there's an upswing here for person number two, like improving health. I feel like you're doing things to I don't know, like money wise is good, you know. And I feel like there's synchronicities. And so Spirit is saying, like, if you're looking for signs, keep looking. Don't stop looking. They are contacting you. So that's what I'm getting. Let me see. I like this deck a lot for advice. So we're just going to get, like, collectively for this couple. Tell me what's going on with this couple. Okay. A new beginning, clarity. You guys are giving yourself, each other clarity on what your beliefs even are. You're causing transformation in each other. That's what that card says to me. You know, see the butterfly. So it's like the Ace of Swords. Then the Three of Pentacles comes out. It says, like, you are totally and completely supported by Spirit, but they can support you and hold you, but they can't interfere, right? So if this person is blocking, or I guess two is blocking one, like, Spirit isn't going to say, like, you have to unblock the person, but Spirit is saying, like, hey, if you need a hand, like, we want to help you, but you have to invite us, right? So I feel like that's the energy between the two of you. Look at what's at the bottom of the deck is the Judgment card, the Blossom card. So I feel like that's what's happening from this relationship. So even though it looks like it's full of turmoil and pain, and unsureness, you know, what's happening is this person over here is learning to love themselves. They're learning that they are lovable. You know what I mean? And I think it's person number two that actually triggered them into figuring that out. So I feel like both of you want to let me make sure I'm going the right way. I think both of you kind of want to be together still. So I'd say there's a good shot at it. I think just keep going. Keep loving yourself. Keep doing things for yourself. And when I talk about loving yourself, I'm talking about what is it that you like to do? You know what I mean? What turns you on? What do you really dig doing? So, like, if you could be with your perfect mate, what would you do? You know, would you go for a hike? Would you go for a picnic? What would your thing be that you want to do? Well, here's my advice, personal advice. Let's say what you really like to do is take your camera and go take pictures. My advice to you is to do that. I mean, you don't have to have someone riding shotgun to do that. You know, you don't need somebody. But when you go and do things like that, like, let's say you really love photography, and you go do it, and it's like, it's you loving yourself, giving yourself a gift, you know. You don't have to wait to have a spouse to go do it. In fact, you probably won't ever get to do what you love with a spouse. So, hi. Hi. Oh, I thought you were Sia. I thought that was Sia's tail. What are you doing? You doing okay? Huh? This is Jonas, and he's still hanging out. You love talking to flowers. Me too. Okay. Jonas. Jonas probably wishes he had someone cooler here today. Taurus is 25. That was kind of long. Maybe I better not get as many cards, huh? What would I keep out? The tarot. Let's do person one and person two for Taurus spirit. Let's see what's tapping in. Let's tap in Taurus's energy. Taurus that watch my channel. What kind of messages do they need to know them and their person? I'm going to do two piles of people, 1 and 2. them and their person. So let's do that. Person one. Let me see what person one is feeling. Person one is going through a transformation. The dragonfly is here. So they are changing their life. I think they practiced unconditional love. They like to live in the moment and have a good time. Person number one. There could be some kind of, like, this could be some kind of a really great relationship, like one that is ready to get married or was married, right? Married before. And I feel like they have, you know, this person over here just has so much unconditional love to give. And they are healing from something toxic or some kind of a addiction or something. Person number one is healing. Let's see what number two is. But this person over here is a very working on themselves, changing things. Okay. So person number two, they want to meet. They want to have a conversation, and I think they might call and say that. Now the twin flame card comes out. Oh, you're okay. You have everything you need. I'm sorry you're bored. This person the chaser came out for this person over here. So this person's working on themselves. This person is chasing the shit out of person number one. Okay, so let's see what else. Yeah. So this person on number two feels like it's a one-sided relationship. They feel like person number one maybe doesn't love them. Maybe they just feel like they're a trigger. And they feel like it's time for them to heal. That the chaser, they want to heal this relationship, right? Irregardless, is that even a word? Regardless of the triggering that's going on between the two of you. Hi, Dan. Okay, let's see here. Let's use this lover oracle again and see what it has to say. So, person number two is the chaser in the twin flame dynamic. I see person number one, like, changing, the dragonfly. They have nothing but love in their hearts. But they are healing, you know? They're loving themselves. But person number one, they don't want to let person number two go. They feel like they're blocked, though. They feel like they're obsessed with person number two. So even though this is the chaser over here, this person over here is kind of obsessed. But they're working on themselves. And I think the reason they're working is they used to be the chaser. And I think they figured out that the way back to that twin flame relationship is to heal yourself. Because here's even they're saying, if I could go back in time, I would handle us differently. And person number one is lonely, really lonely. So let's see what person number two is feeling over here with. They're the one that know, now they're the chaser. I feel like you guys had opposite roles before. This person is hurting. Will this ever change? And then they're admitting, like, the way I have treated you was so wrong. So they're feeling shitty about it. Chaser, the chaser. My life is a mess right now. And you deserve better. And then drugs and alcohol. Wow, 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 wow. People don't believe in me at the bottom of the deck. I think person number 2 doesn't believe in themselves. They have not figured any of that out. But person number 1 is figuring it out. Like, they're just trying to work on themselves, love themselves is what I'm seeing. Let's get some romance oracles. Okay, so person number 1 kind of feels like person number 2 deceived them, but they feel like this is going to work itself out. They're waiting for divine timing. Wedding is coming out again for this person. I'm sort of wondering if this person, like for some of you, like small, but this person might be married to someone else. You know what I mean? Because the wedding card came out. Otherwise, it could be that somebody's married and like split up, right? Or having problems. This person over here is working on their finances, trying to, but they can't forget the chemistry that they feel with you. And there were some red flags in this relationship. So tell me about person number 2, romance angels. Tell me about person number 2. What's going on in this deal? This person feels like it's unrequited love, like you don't love them. And if this person number 1 is married, it would be normal for person number 2 to feel like they don't really love me, right? But this card is saying like you deserve love, right? And stay optimistic. And I think this person over here wants to go somewhere with you. Like they'd like to just have like a getaway with you, married or not, right? So let's see how people are feeling here. I wish I could share my good news with you. Person number 1 is saying they have good news. It could be about their money or their finances. They're not available though. Again, I'm getting like this person over here is married. It's time for me to heal. I wish I had treated you better, and we need to let each other go. Person number 2, this is the chaser over here. This is the person who feels completely, I think this person over here kind of feels like, well, they're saying that you feel you deserve better, and there's some kind of drugs and alcohol over here, but they feel like you didn't love them, right? And they think we will be together again and I love you. So this person, the chaser, is still in love. And person number 1 is still like going like, I wished I could do this, but I'm not available. This person number 2 replays the conversations over and over. And they're just so attracted to person number 1, they can't really. So that is definitely a twin flame chaser dynamic there. I'm going to get the yin yang cards and ask for advice for you guys. Spirit, give me some advice for person number 1. Yeah, so person number 1, this is asking, this is like there's assistance for you. They're your spirit guides. So invite them into your life. Work with them regularly. You know what I mean? And be open to receive, because something new is happening. Rebirth. December, January, February. I feel like it's going to be a brand new person number 1. because your spirit guides are giving you something major. So, person number 2, well, they're stuck in their head. They're isolating, being kind of like the hermit, you know. They can't stop thinking about it. They keep thinking like about the way you met and how weird it was. It was like a gift. Like you weren't expecting it or anything. It meant a lot to person number 2, you know. They love you, want to nurture you, you know. And they remember you from another life. That's why. That's why they're so vulnerable to you. Like, it's very possible that they've had dreams or something like that. This person over here is pretty tuned in as far as, but they're still stuck there. You know what I mean? I mean, they're tuned into what the relationship is and how it got there, and then they just stopped there. You know what I mean? Like they're not moving forward after that. Let's see if we can get some advice. Advice, Spirit. Yeah. So I feel like there could be some kind of like root chakra problems for you two. You know, like this would be like inner child wounding. The base chakra is here. And then the strength card. So the strength card could mean that, you know, it can be about ego. It can be about, you know, pulling back, having the strength to pull back and give someone space to heal. But it can also be like having the strength to go inside and do that work. What is that inner child wounding, right? What do you need to detach from? What do you need to let go of? You know, something that wasn't fair. You know, we all have things that aren't fair that happen in our life, but it doesn't mean that we have to like cling on to them and hold them close to us. You know why? Because they don't define us. Sure, I think every single situation like molds us into a little bit different person. But how is that doing? What's it doing for you? Like, it's saying there's something deep inside you that you need to be as strong as you can possibly be and let it go. It could be something that someone told you when you were small and you believed it. Maybe you don't even know it's part of you. It doesn't define you what someone else says. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe the both of you, if you're a twin flame, you probably are kind of learning some of the same lessons. And I think that that's the thing is for you guys to find your strength to actually deal with that root chakra problem. And a lot of times that is exactly what the twin flame journey is about. It's just about triggering the other person to heal. And both people get healed from it. There's so much chemistry and passion in these relationships that's why I think that's why they change us so much, or why we feel so like almost toxic about them, right? Like I was talking to someone the other night and was talking about their twin flame, and she said, I've been saving myself for my twin. And I was thinking like, I know exactly what you mean. But it's, you know, I mean, it's important to live in the now too and heal yourself and experience new things. And I mean, I don't know. 31. Thanks, Dan. Okay. Gemini, let's look and see what's going on in your love life. Person on your mind, the person that's blocked from you, or you blocked them, or whatever. We're just doing blocked readings today. Let's see what the hell is going on. Gemini, person number 1. First card out, twin flame. So, all right, so this is person number 1. The first card that came out was twin. So this is definitely a twin flame journey. You have a soul contract with this person, past lives with this person, right? And you're in separation from them. And I think person number 1 is very sad about it because they feel like it's over. They have no idea what to do now. I don't see them moving forward. They have unconditional love for their twin, kind of like my friend the other night. She was just like, I don't care what happens. I want to be true to my twin. So person number 2 is going through a transformation. The butterflies here. I think they're going through a transformation. I think they could actually, there could be a third party situation. They could even be, I don't know if they're engaged to someone else or you guys were engaged. This person number 2 feels like person number 1 has some kind of spell on them. And person number 2 is heartbroken about the separation too. Dang. They want to stop the pattern of the silent treatment. They don't want to be the one who always abandons people, right? They feel like they do it. Let's see. And they also feel like they don't have enough to offer. And they have a lot of options anyway. So damn. That's what's happening in their life, right? I'm going to do this deck next. Spirit, can you clarify person number 1 over here? Yeah, so this person has a lot of regret. They want a solid foundation. They are working on their higher self. They're trying to get in touch with their soul because they want to know what the hell is going on. Like, this is a soul contract. I know it is. Like, how come this person's not cooperating? I know who we are, right? There's insane chemistry here. This person is in their divine feminine power. Third eye activated. Higher self activated. This person is working on themselves and integrating, right? What they want is this person back. They know that it's their twin flame. They want a union. And they know that the only way to do that in a twin flame relationship is to have their soul rise to the surface and guide them, you know? But don't forget that in the twin flame journey, there's 2 people. So all you can do, person number 1, is stay on this path that you're on and keep working on yourself. Keep loving yourself. Okay, so this person really desires all of this. And what they're trying to do is alchemy. They're working with their ancestors to do that, to change the situation inside of them, right? They're trying to figure it out. They're doing all kinds of research on twin flame journey and what that really looks like. They feel rejected and confused and deceived because the love they felt was so real, and they feel like this person didn't really love them. And this person, I think this person is just, when they're stuck in their ego, you know, they don't, I think they're just so stuck in their head, in their fears, you know. But it does say that there's a transformation coming. Tell me about this girl with the snake. Like this, so this is like a card saying like person number 2 feels like person number 1 put a spell on him, right? Tell me, okay. Wow. So what really happens is that when this person comes in, it empowers person number 2. When person number 1 comes in with their divine feminine energy, they give this person number 2 strength and empowerment, and this person doesn't know what the hell to do with it. They don't even know. I feel like, honestly, sometimes when someone provides that so much to another person, it scares the shit out of the person, right? This person's going through a lot. I mean, they feel like the strength they get from this person is great. And the second that they break up with them, like there's a heart, you know, like there's a breakup here, and it triggers dark night of the soul for this person. And they're sitting here feeling lack, you know, like I don't, you know, I'm not enough. I don't have enough. And it could be because of the breakup, because this person number 1 provides so much like light to person number 2. And I feel like they realize it, right? This this person wants a new beginning. They want to start by telling the truth. Tell me about the axe for person number 2. Yeah, it's a toxic pattern that they have, and that they're kind of bound to it in a way. So this is clarifying the silent treatment, you know, blocking. It's a toxic pattern that they've been doing for a long time. And wow, it's just they're clinging to it. That's the way they've always rolled. They're comfortable there. Even though it's not comfortable to be toxic, right? But it's saying like they're breaking up because they don't know what to do with all your power that you're handing them over just for free. Just your presence gives them this power. Do you understand that? That's pretty big. And then here's this like not enough. So they feel like they don't have enough. Let me see what's going on here, Spirit. They don't have enough to offer. It's because of their home at life. It's because of when they were a kid. The way they grew up, what commitment looked like, what love looked like, what home looked like. And I think that they were neglected. And so when someone comes in, Gemini, bouncing in with this beautiful sun that you hold inside your heart, this glowing gift of warmth and love, it scares the shit out of this person. And they're like, man, I can't be around all this light. I'm not enough for that. I'm not enough. fucking poor number 2, right? Here's what Spirit is saying, though. Like, if you, to person number 2, if this is you over here that causes the self-sabotaging and stuff, I feel like make sure to, like, take some time, like, to have some good sleep. Not like an induced coma kind of sleep, but like no alcohol, no drugs on board. And go to bed and leave a notebook by your bed, because Spirit wants to talk to you about exactly this. Not enough. The fact that you feel like you're not enough. And I think they want to show you the truth about it. You know, could look a lot of different ways. I see that this person has a lot of options, and I feel like they are like a serial one-night stand kind of person. And they do that just because they can't deal with love. They can't. They don't even know what to do with it, you know? So I feel like something's going to happen unexpected, right? This could have something to do with Uranus. So I don't know where Uranus is in this person's chart, but I feel like something is changing. Like you're making some kind of a decision to quit feeling like that. To quit feeling like you're always suffering. Because you were suffering a lot in your past. So the way you counteract that, person number 2, is I feel like you kind of show something different than who you really are. You know, like you're probably maybe the life of the party. You're super funny. You've got everyone's attention. You know, everyone thinks you're cool. Everyone thinks you're hot. And I think that there's a lot of like control issues here. And what's going to happen, I think, is Spirit is coming in to like clear some shit up for you. I don't think that, I think it's time for a big change for person number 2. Because you've got this dark night of the soul up here. And it was triggered by this person number 1, the breakup with person number 1. But I think person number 2 did it, broke up. So crazy, huh? Is this resonating with anyone? Gemini, show me person number 1. I think person number 1 is really working on themselves, and person number 2 is on their way. So let's see. Person number 1 feels lonely, and they wish they could change something about something that they did. You know, they wish they could have reacted different to something. They wish they could have another chance to respond differently, right? What does that say? Yeah, they feel a lot of lack. You know, they they do have some kind of wounding that they're working through, you know. Tell me about person number 2. I'm interested, so interested in person number 2. What is this saying? What is the truth? I wish I could be fully honest with you. This love is crazy. So, I think they're still a little confused, but I do see Spirit working in their life here. What do I have? The romance angels. Let's look at those. Tell me the romance angels for person number 1. Yeah, there's so much passion, right? They want to try. And the reason that this person, I think I said it before, but I think the reason this person is so regretful, so working on trying to figure this shit out, making a strong foundation, it's because they recognize the person from a past life. And that can be a pretty overwhelming experience, you know, especially like, have you ever had a dream about somebody that you knew in a past life? Like you meet them and then you have like a dream about them and you're like in a different time and you watch this whole scenario, you know? It's kind of weird. So person number 2 is like chemistry comes out on both passion and chemistry. They're staying optimistic, and I feel like this not enough thing and this unrequited love is kind of like the same card or the same message. It's like this person over here, person number 2, they really don't find a lot of value in themselves. And honestly, your light scares them. So what would person number 1 say to person number 2 if they got the chance? I'm becoming a better person. I want to be more than friends. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. I look for you everywhere. I want you. The timing just wasn't right. Just being near you is intoxicating. This person's got it bad. For person number 2. Tell me how person number 2 feels about person number 1. It was my fault, but I blamed you. I know I messed everything up. I am not available. So they are dating someone else here, you know. They're with someone. They're dating a lot of people, it looks like. But I do see, and it says, I hid who I really am from you. So I feel like there's something going to change big time here. It's about this person's life and how they're leading it. Like, I feel like it's the storm card. It's the lightning card, yeah, right? And then it's masculine, control, and party, and suffering. So I think that, and it's clarifying the keys on a ring, which means like you have lots of options. Person number 2 does. So I feel like, I mean, call it what you want, but it looks to me like spirit and divine timing changing things for you. First of all, they're going to get a hold of you in your dream state, person number 2. And I feel like they're going to show you something about your home life. It's a story that you've told yourself your whole life. And I feel like they're going to let you in on something different. Like you didn't see the whole picture. You didn't know. I think you're going to. I don't know what this is going to look like, but it definitely is leading to wish fulfillment here. It's just because of a story that this person's been telling them, so they have no value for themselves. You know what I mean? So let's get some advice from the Love Tarot, or the Tarot of the Heart, I guess it is. I love this deck. Just messages for both, for the whole couple. Dreams are coming true, like the 9 of Cups. And love abounds. There's going to be a new beginning. So you guys are just working on some stuff here. But yeah, I just feel like the 2 of you belong together, and it will happen. I do. But I think you kind of got to start looking in toward yourself, you know, how you can help yourself. What can you do to love yourself today? You know, work on that and get your vibration rising. And it looks to me like spirit is stepping in, because I feel like person number 1 kind of already is doing that, working on themselves. I see a lot of changes. I see your higher self here guiding the way. So I feel like you've done so much work that spirit is kind of like coming in and saying like, okay, now we gotta get this person number 2, the other half of this twin, on this page, because they don't understand how beautiful they are. And so I feel like that's what's happening here. This was kind of a beautiful reading, Gemini. I also kind of getting the message that, like, when I just picked these up, it's like I feel like in a way there are some of you who are feeling like they weren't in this relationship. You know, like there's regrets, like you're feeling like, I wish I wouldn't have taken on a twin flame relationship. That's what I feel like you're doing or saying or whatever. So, I don't know. You might want to work with spirit on that one, you know. Okay, Cancer. Thanks, Jan. All right. Let's see what's going on for Cancer and this person. Some kind of surprise coming for person number one, coming in quickly. I also see a union here. A promise that lasts forever. Could be a wedding coming up. I feel like person number one is watching person number two. Like, but they don't want him to know, right? They do love person number two, and they think about person number two all the time. I feel like they're also going through a transformation. Person number two is hanging out with their friends, taking care of themselves, putting themselves first, definitely doing shadow work, ascending. Yeah. This person over here is working on their stability. They're healing their heart from some kind of a breakup, or some kind of an addiction or something. And they're just working on loving themselves. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Let's see. What would I do next? This one. Okay, so something is happening very quickly. It's a sudden change. It's a surprise. It's the lightning card. Spirit, tell me what's going on with the lightning card for Cancer. That's too many. Okay, it looks like a new beginning. Could be dealing with an earth sign. So it looks like there's some kind of toxic pattern that person number one is dealing with here in a relationship. And it could have to do with somebody just being more in their ego, like listening to fears and things that aren't true instead of, listening to their heart. Tell me about and person number one is watching person number two because they're afraid. They're afraid of losing them. They're afraid of deception. They're afraid of rejection. So they're spying. And I think they feel a little guilty about it. Tell me about the Kisses card. Okay. So I feel like in the past, there might be some kind of a father issue here for somebody, person number one. Like, maybe you suffered. Maybe you were abused at home. Or maybe you just didn't have a good example of commitment in your life. So I feel like it's caused a problem here. And what you're doing is you're kind of looking at the pictures of you and this person together, and you're like, man, I love them, and now and so you're just sitting there thinking about all the stuff you did, how much happiness you had, and you're longing for them. You're like, dang, how come they're not here, right? Clarify the transformation. You're going to celebrate abundance. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. I forgot I have it on this one, too. Did it stop? Sorry about that. Someone's calling me on Messenger. Okay, so the butterfly is about a transformation. This is actually a really big thing. Like, this is like an awakening. It could be seeing new things that you didn't know before. You're getting clarity on yourself and life and what exactly you can do. You know what I mean? Like even manifesting. I feel like person number one is a little sad, a little working on things, but you definitely have um, a, a heap of ancestors working to help you change something. So let's see what person number two. I feel like person number two is like kind of waiting on divine timing. And then meanwhile, they're working on themselves. They're healing their inner child. They're loving every piece of themselves from child on up. Yeah, it's just all love here for them. And when someone does that, it causes them to rise, you know, ascend. It causes a person to grow, like spiritual growth, right? Yeah, and a new fire energy. This is the Ace of Wands. So it's kind of like, I feel like something new is coming for this person, like a new idea. Like you're working on yourself, you're healing, you're trusting in spirit, and spirit says you're ascending. I'm going to give you something new to look at. Do you remember this? So I feel like whatever it is, it's beautiful. It's something that lights you up, and it lights up your soul, makes it come more forward, you know. Person number two, they're just growing, right? They're forgiving, they're balancing themselves, they're trying to lay a new foundation here. This person is working on themselves. They're healing their heart, and they have a breakthrough. Again, like this whole side is saying that transformation and another new beginning. So now this person on this side has 3 new beginnings: water, fire, and air. Breakthroughs, ascensions, and then the bottom card is unconditional love. Let's clarify that. Yeah, this is spirit guides loving you, spirit guides kissing you, taking care of you, nurturing you, you doing that for yourself too. And then new beginnings and some kind of new attraction, some kind of fire. Like I said, you've got a lot of fire here. So I feel like person number two is working with spirit, and I don't think that they're sitting around thinking about this person that much. They're like, I'm going to get on with my day. And this person over here is, I think they're rising too, but I feel like they have a little farther, they haven't gone as far as person number two. You know what I mean? That's what I'm feeling. So let's see if person number one could say something to person number two. What would it be? I wish things could be different. So many things remind me of you. I remember the detail of that day, every detail of that day. I'm so attracted to you, and I feel you even though we're apart. So this person is a little more kind of stuck in that stuck in that relationship, you know, spying on them, all that stuff. Person number 2 is moving on down the road, man. I'm not saying person number 2 doesn't want person number 1 or whatever, but I feel like what's happening is what was supposed to happen. Some kind of trigger that triggered this person into movement, into healing, you know. This person is saying, I understand the connection. Like, I want to feel that way again, you know. You speak to me through music. I just feel like this is beautiful. It's doing exactly what a relationship is supposed to do for us, you know. It doesn't even matter if it's, you know, a romance or not. I mean, relationships teach us stuff, you know. They teach us what we don't want to be, and they teach us what we do want to be, you know. I mean, I don't know if you guys feel like that, but I sure do. I can't think of one person that I've known that hasn't taught me something, you know. Okay, so the advice is listen to your intuition. You have a new beginning in love, but it begins with you starting to like look from your heart space. And look at this, came out again. Wishes coming true, dreams coming true, 9. You're creating that yourself with the manifest card. I do see new beginning. I think your intuition can take you there, whether you're person number 1 or person number 2. I just feel like you kind of got to practice this card, you know, which is like everything that comes out of your mouth kind of needs to be coming from your heart. You know what I mean? And that's what I see. All right. He's away. I guess I'm trying to make these be a little shorter. I didn't realize I would be taking so long. Okay, who's next? Yeah, that was you, wasn't it, Erica? Are you a Cancer North Node? Mine too. There's a lot of people that watch that have a Cancer North Node. Yeah. Okay, Leo is next. Let's see what's happening for Leo. Let's see. Let's look at their person. Person number 1, person number 2 for Leo. See how they're thinking. Person number 1. Spirits, angels, guides, thanks for your patience today. I know it's taken me forever. Person number 1 is ascending. They're waiting for a message. I think you either person number 1 wants to be engaged, is engaged. But they kind of feel like they're being used. I feel like there's mirroring going on here. So definitely a lot of healing work. I see this person number 1 is also healing their heart, right? So let's see what's going on with person number 2 for Leo. I feel like person number 2 feels like they will love person number 1 forever. They're going through some kind of transition, I feel like. I think they think about you all the time, and they desire stability. They're focusing on abundance and transformation, though. They're thinking about you, though. Person number 1 is ascending. Let's see what that's all about. Okay. They're being empowered. I feel like they also, I think they're finding their strength, but the separation hurts them. And I think they really want to, like, make contact, you know. I feel like that being with you made them feel abundant, you know. They feel grateful that they ever even knew you. But they feel like this relationship's kind of stuck, and someone's avoiding the other one. I feel like they also feel like it wasn't what they thought, you know? Like, they thought it was one thing, but it ends up being like it's like a facade is what they're feeling like. This actually triggers this person into having some sort of an awakening. The mirroring is showing this person what their fears are, you know? Why are they afraid? What are they afraid of? So person number 2 is actually kind of bringing out something so that person number 1 can actually heal themselves and have a new beginning here with the ace of earth. Let's clarify the wedding rings on person number 2. So yeah, so this is having the courage to change is clarifying the wedding rings. I see another mirror here talking about triggering things for people, right? I feel like there was a lot of suffering in the past here with the coffin card, and I feel like this person is suffering and feels they have a lack mentality for some reason. It could be, I mean, it's clarifying the coffin card. So I feel like that something ended and they're grieving it is what it looks like. It could be a job, you know, or something like that. The camera. So they're thinking about you and they're just feeling very alone. They're confused about their own feelings, you know, like they love you. I mean, you could have a family with them or that you made a commitment together, because I do see the wedding rings, the family card, commitment, and I even seen the engagement card. So, but there was some kind of deception here. What was it? Deception to the family. Person number 2 feels that they have regrets. So I think person number 2 could have done or said something to like rock the boat in the family. They're feeling regret about it, you know. However, something is coming here with this abundance card, and I don't know exactly what it could be, but look at what clarifies it. Divine intervention. So I feel like Spirit's sending something to person number 2. Some kind of what is it? Give me one more card. Some kind of passionate relationship. This, whatever this chemistry is faded. So I don't know if this is with you Like they get like a sudden epiphany, like, oh my God, that's my baby. Who am I reading for? Leo. Okay, so Leo, you know, Venus is in your sign. And it's going to be there till October. So there could be a lot of mind fuckery going on for you, you know, with this relationship, with any relationship, really. But the butterfly is being clarified by freedom. So I feel like what this is saying is like, this is going to, whatever's happening here with the butterfly and this freedom card, I feel like it's, I think you might jump. I think you might do it. Okay, so let's see here. What else do I want to know? I don't know how I feel about these cards. What are you guys feeling about them? The lovers oracle. Okay. Person number one is saying, I can't make you happy. So they feel like, yeah, there's nothing they can do. It's like, hey, I've tried. I can't make you happy. Anything else from person number one? Person number one doesn't want to be alone. I long for your kiss. I need to figure myself out. And you were right. Okay. So you were right about something. Number two was right about something, right? So person number two is feeling a little confused and lack, but I feel like something is flipping around here. Probably because of Venus. And I feel like you're bringing in, like there's a new relationship coming that's very, very passionate. And I don't know if it's with person number one, you know, but person number two, you definitely have a fated meeting coming up with these two cards, which is beautiful. Person number one is saying to person number two is saying, don't wait for me. I can't promise you anything. How could you ever forgive the mess I made? I can't talk to you right now. So person number one is pretty blocked. I mean, person number two is pretty blocked, you know, but something is happening. Like they feel in all the lack and everything, but down here, this butterfly comes in with abundance. And I see a new beginning with love and passion. And I see freedom too. So like money looks good in this instant too. Let's see what the hidden messages are. What would person one say to person two if they could? I know that I crossed a line. Okay, person number two. What would person number two say? It was my fault, but I blamed you. Anything else for person number two? You guys don't have a lot to say to each other, evidently. Let me get one of these angels and see what it has to say. Do you have a message for person number one? Person number one, the angels say, listen to your intuition. Person number two, meditation brings answers. It's up to you. And you might want to reconsider something. Those are your messages from them. Let's get that romance angels, though. Just one card for each one. Tell me what person number one's feeling. It's time to clear your energy, person number one. It really is. Because, I mean, you're the one that's hanging on, aren't you? Girl with the snake. You're healing, though. Sometimes we have to let go in order to keep something, too. You know what I mean? Have you ever heard that? Person number 2 realizes this is a past life relationship. And I think, that's good information to know for anybody, right? Because if you had a past life together, then, I mean, is it anything less than a miracle that you met each other in this life? Have you ever thought about that? Like, it's kind of amazing how spirit works, don't you think? Like, you just be bopping along and all of a sudden some person starts talking to you, and then it's so weird. Why were you there? Why were you both there at that time? Like, that kind of thing. I love things like that. I love that recognition, that feeling of recognition. I have to tell you that for me, whenever I know that about somebody, I really do cherish them a little closer to my heart. You know what I mean? Those ones that, I don't know, like you remember something or something. Anyway, I think it's pretty cool when we get to figure out that we're meeting somebody that we've already hung out with, we've already twirled around with, you know, as different people or whatever. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, and I do kind of like tend to like hold those relationships pretty special. Virgo is next. Let's do Virgo. Tell me what's going on. Person number 1, person number 2 in a broke up, blocked situation. Okay, well, you are both thinking about each other like crazy. One of you is looking at pictures and the other one's replaying events, conversations. I feel like person number 2 is stalking person number 1. Healthy choices for person number 1. So person number 1 is really working on themselves, right? I mean, I feel like this relationship kind of triggered them into that. I think they're stable. I think they're tapped in. And I think that they're loving on themselves pretty good. Person number 2 is dating someone new. I feel like they're healing and they know it. They are stalking person number 1. We're going to do, okay. So I feel like person number 1 comes some kind of a lightning bolt about how they value themselves. That's what the lightning bolt is, the epiphany. They're figuring something out about their own self, what their value is, what that looks like, and why. I feel like there's distance between you two, and they think about you all the time. They're trying to make a decision here. Should they, step back further, or should they go forward? And that's what they're trying to decide. And I feel like for person number 1, this decision is kind of wrapped up in how they feel about themselves. you know, what their own self-value really is. Okay, so let's see what the healthy choice is for person number one. Yeah, so basically they've been stuck in fear for a while. They feel like they have limits to who they are, and they're working on themselves. They're what they're doing is taking care of themselves, loving themselves. This could have something to do with you know, planet movement. It could be even about Mars. It could be Mars that's kind of moving them to change, right? I feel like they're having to let go of some kind of guilt that they hold. And I don't know, there could be some traveling involved here. Yeah, there's a lot of past suffering for person number one. And a lot of storms, like unexpected storms, right? But the reason for it is because person number one is going through like a kind of like a rebirth, a dark night of the soul or whatever, and they need to open up their third eye. And so I feel like there's communication between spirit and them. I feel like they're going through a lot, person number one. I feel like they feel guilty about a lot of stuff. I don't know that they really have a lot of value for themselves. So person number two is kind of like, you know, they're kind of moving on down the road. They decided that they wanted to start dating other people. They're more comfortable with it. That's their comfort zone, is to not be super connected, but to be dating other people. You know, they don't really want to, what am I trying to say, commit. But there's a clock here, and I'm clarifying it, and it says there's an awakening and a remembering. And so I feel like this person over here, I think it's divine timing with that clock. And I think they're starting to remember who they are, the power they hold. You know, this is the divine feminine. And she looks like a fierce woman in this picture, doesn't she? You see her third eye and her crown just lit up. Fire in her hands. I mean, what a cool picture. Tell me about sunglasses. So sunglasses is about kind of like spying on person number one. Person number two is spying on person number one. And I think they're keeping it secret. They're not letting anybody know they're even stuck on them anymore. They're trying to act like they're better, you know, like they're not. Tell me about the cassette. What are they thinking about? They're thinking about twin flame. So okay. So let's get some angel messages, romance angel messages. Sorry, I don't know what the hell I'm using anymore. So person number one, the romance angels are saying, like, let your friends help you, ask for help and accept it. And person number one's just trying to call in their soulmate. Person number one has some kind of deal about religious factors. So maybe person number two believes something different and they just don't know if they can handle it. Something like that. Let's go on to two. So person number two for Virgo realizes this is a twin flame. So they're trying to love themselves first. I kind of feel like they're investigating the twin flame. Like, I think it's a new concept or something. Because it's by the sunglasses, right? And I feel like when they start investigating the twin flame, they feel very vulnerable. Like, because the twin flame journey is very, very connected and very It feels almost toxic, you know. Here's what they're feeling. They're feeling unrequited love and in this separation. And so that's why they're trying to love themselves first. They realize that this could be a twin flame. Maybe person number one told person number two it was a twin flame, right? And so now they're like, they're sunglassing it. They're digging in. They're trying to see in there, and then they get to this place where they're like, God, if this is really what they say it is, man, I'm just stuck with this shit. Like, I'm very vulnerable in this situation, right? It can feel like that. But you do have a choice, is what I want to say to person number two, because you don't have to, you can do what you want, like forever and ever and ever. It's a free will thing, always. So you don't have to be with anyone, twin or not. Person number one is asking if they could talk to you. What they would say is, are you happy without me? And they're hiding behind their material things, and they're wishing that they could take back some kind of words that they said. So let's see what person number two wants to say that they can't. This person is really kind of like, the way I have these cards set up, it almost looks like they're really in a lot of confusion about the twin flame journey, and they feel very vulnerable. And I'm wondering if they're even asking themselves if it can be true, you know what I mean? Because like the unrequited love thing is here. And so they're going over it, and they're like, if this is a twin flame, wouldn't I have felt their love? Or something, like you're questioning it. I feel like person number two really wasn't authentic either and about who they really are. Like that could be about the religious factors. This person number two didn't want to let person number one get close to them, but they feel you. That's why they're investigating the term twin flame, because they can feel your energy even when you're not there, you know? So let's see. Let me get a... Tell me what's going on here in this soul journey between these two twins. Okay. So the advice is to ask for help from the spirit realm, you know? They're holding you, but if you guys need help in this situation, you should ask for them. Also, there's some kind of new information or knowledge or opportunity coming, and I think it would be really good for you to invite in the angels, the ancestors, all that, because you could very well miss it, because this is for both of you, because you're both feeling very alone, you're not really understanding what's going on. But there's an opportunity, and it's either to teach someone something or to learn something on a higher level, like a spiritual level, right? So here's your advice. You know, reach out to the other realms, because they are holding you up, but they can't interfere with your life. There's free will, right? And there's an opportunity, but it's behind you right here if you just turn around. But you're busy looking at something else, you know? So you could miss this opportunity. I think it's really important. So please reach out to them, because they want to help you find this. And the reason that you can't see it is this is what you're looking at, is this loneliness. You know, Five of Pentacles, feeling alone and left out in the cold, right? And then here comes this Hierophant, which is this one is about being a teacher. You know, she's teaching other people. So I feel like you have an opportunity to teach someone something. It could even be just this relationship, you know, like, but you might miss it because you're looking at something else. You're not looking at the right thing. You know what I mean? You got your back turned to the blessing. Also, I feel like person number 2, if you're watching, the South Node card came out, so I feel like you're kind of stuck in a karmic trench, for lack of a better word. And, yeah. Libra is next. Finally, Libra, right? Oh my god. I can't believe I've been doing this for an hour and 40 minutes. 140. Okay, Libra. Let's see what's going on for Libra. Person number 1, person number 2. Person number 1. Libra. Okay. Person number 1 is the runner in a relationship, codependent relationship, listening to their ego instead of their soul. Very self-absorbed person. I feel like there could be a codependency here. I do feel like you want to, person number 1 wants to call person number 2 and say, hey, what are you doing? They might want to move forward in the relationship, person number 1. They're not really moving on. And then the Phoenix is here. So this could be a new phase. It could be transformation. It could be growth. It could be someone changing their mind and coming back. So there's a lot going on there for Libra. Let's look at person number 2. Passion. I think person number 1 is got a lot of passion for person number 2 has a lot of passion for person number 1. I think they just want to be in your life. Look at that. So the person number 2 is the chaser. Isn't that something? They both came out. I do see wedding rings. Person number 2 either wants to get married or you are married, right? So you got the runner and the chaser here in this dynamic, Libra. And something is changing. So you guys both have a big change coming between the, the 2 of you, or in life in general, right? So let's see here. Let's clarify clarify the golden mirror for person number 1. Okay, so the golden mirror is about, the golden mirror is about love bombing. It's about narcissist. It's about being self-absorbed, right? Could be dealing with a Leo, or somebody has Leo in their chart. Tell me about the runner. So the runner is like listening to their ego when they feel like they're suffering, when they feel like they're not enough, right? When they feel like they don't want to talk. What's happening is they're not paying attention to their third eye. They don't have the clarity that they need. I see the addiction card here, and then right next to is love call. So person number 1 might be thinking about calling person number 2, but I feel like they don't have enough confidence. They have a lot of fear about it. Like they want to call, but they're like, I don't know, maybe they won't answer. Maybe they don't feel the same. So I feel like what's happening is this person is kind of working through an ego issue. like moving from being in their ego and moving into their higher self, activating that higher, you know, soul. Something is changing here. I feel like it's really important, person number one, to stay in the present moment and be grateful for everything. You're having a new beginning. It's something I don't think you even saw coming. It gives you freedom. And I feel like person number one is kind of going through a dark night of the soul, right? And I feel like that's making way for this freedom, this new road, this, and like the key here is to stay present and to stay grateful, right? It doesn't matter what you're talking about. You just need to stay in an attitude of gratitude in order to rise to the occasion of what's happening in your life, which is a brand new opportunity. It's time to jump. It's like the Fool card, right? So I don't know if it's with this person, but let's look and see what person number two is doing over here. Person number two feels like person number one deceived them, right? They feel like there was a lot of conflict. They've been talking to their girlfriends about it, right? So I feel like what's happening with person number two is spirits talking to them in their sleep about the way they take care of themselves. What that might look like is maybe you have a dream about yourself that makes you realize your value, realize how much love you have, you know, like a simple astral projection dream could do that, you know, and that's what it's saying, like you're having some kind of dream here, and it's because of the conflict that you have going on inside yourself. And spirit is kind of like your higher self is going like, man, I do not like the vibe where she's at, you know. We're gonna have to, like, I'm gonna have to show her maybe how other people feel about you, you know what I mean? Like, so if you, let's say, had an astral projection dream, and I don't know where this is coming from except for spirit, but let's say you did. Let's say you traveled to, I don't know, this person's house over here, you know, in your dream, and you got to have a glimpse of really them talking to friends about you. You know, you didn't know how they felt. I don't know what's happening, but I feel like this person over here kind of feels like it's not going to work out and they really want it to. And I think spirit is kind of trying to show you something new. And I think whatever they're showing you, I think it's going to trigger you into taking better care of yourself. Yeah, big change coming. I feel like the regret that you've been feeling is leaving, you know? Like you realize, I don't know what they're showing you in the dream, but I feel like you're letting go of a lot of things that held you back, you know what I mean? This is all kind of like around the chaser card, right? So I feel like something is changing. Like you're changing the way you deal with this shit, right? It's because of this dream. It's because of spirit like talking to you, you know? There is some kind of something happening over here with the wedding card, right? It's eternal love. There's something about that, like it's like it's gonna change in maybe around November, December, January, something like that, right? It's gonna be, what's changing is your fragmentation, right? The dragonfly is here. It's unexpected, you know, like you feel pretty shitty about this relationship, right? Because obviously you're the chaser, so you know it's something special. But there's this dragonfly here, and this fragmented piece of you, this loss that you feel, this rejection that you feel. And also, like, the way you portray yourself is changing. Like, maybe you put on one face for someone, and that's changing. Like, you're embracing who the hell you even are. You see, you're integrating with yourself. Like, that's body, mind, soul. And it could even be integration with this person. And with the lightning card, it really could. But I feel like before that could happen, I feel like person number 2 needs to integrate with their soul first, too. Because I feel like there's a lot of disharmony in their heart, you know? Yeah, this lightning is a remembrance. Like, I don't know, but it looks to me like Spirit's really working with you. North Node. Look into your North Node and see what that is, because it's your purpose, you know, your soul's purpose, why you came here, what you came to learn. And I don't think anybody, you know, not a lot of people talk about it, but I think it's pretty important to know it. Because then you can at least understand why some of the shit has happened, you know, because our soul lined it all up. So I would say that's a message for you to look into your North Node. So person number 1 is working on their finances and career, and they're just trying to, you know, get their own life in order. They got new beginnings coming. They've got faded things. They've got a lot to be grateful for, and they're freeing themselves. They're taking their life back. They're taking the control of their life back. Person number 2, they feel like you're the person number 1's worth the effort. There's so much chemistry. They keep thinking about it. I feel like there could be a union coming, and it could have something to do with your soul purpose and theirs. That's how shit works. It's like people come in and they help us figure out whatever we had planned, you know. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. So that's kind of the romance angels guidance. I want to ask one more deck here. Tell me what's the message for the 2 of these guys together with their, you know, I mean, obviously, if they're both on the table, they're soul friends. What's going on? Okay, so there's base chakra work. Yeah, there's some kind of a challenging time here. Like, I don't know if there's some kind of need to, like, you both feel like you have to, like, protect yourself. But it's got everything to do with your root chakra. So that's, like, really old, you know, old stuff, like from when you were a child. And I feel like there's something that you got to let go of. I'll show you. I feel like both of you have to let go of something. It might not be the same exact thing, but there's something that needs to be let go of. And in order to clear that chakra. So if you have a blocked root chakra, you should just look it up. You can Google it. There's yoga stuff you can do that takes like 5 minutes to open those chakras. Anything red, you can wear red clothes. You can eat red food. Anything that's grown inside the ground, potatoes, onions, carrots, rutabagas, radishes, all that stuff that grows inside the ground, the food actually is the root. Those are the things that you can eat to clear and open that root chakra. Those are just a couple of little things, but there's lots of other stuff. So I feel like Libra, it's important for you to work on those chakras. If your base chakra is blocked, the rest of them are too, because they kind of stack on top of each other, you know? So if your root chakra is blocked, I mean, it's the base. It's the bottom. Nothing else is going to be aligned. So I feel like there's something needs to be worked on there. Scorpio's next. Let's see, 154. Okay, Scorpio. Let's see what's going on for Scorpio. Spirits, angels, guides, thank you so much for helping me out today. I know this has been a long day. Long reading. We're looking for two people for Scorpio. Person number one, person number two, who's on their mind, right? You guys pick where it goes. Person number one. Person number one feels like they got shot by Cupid's arrow, right? They feel like person number two is the only one that has a key to their heart. However, they are the ones who sabotaged it. The dragonfly is here. Something's transforming. Something's changing. Things coming to light. Things healing. And then there's seduction card, which could mean a third party, right? Person number two has got some kind of an addiction card here, like they're obsessed or they're in a codependence all the time. Could be married. There's a separation or a breakup here. They feel abandoned. This could be even about silent treatment. This person over here, number two, is the chaser in the dynamic. They can't stop thinking about your person number one. Yeah, twin flames coming out again. Okay, so this is another, I should have just named it twin flame dynamic or twin flame reading, right? Seems like all of them. I have two decks that have a twin flame card, so let's see. Let's check out some messages for, so it looks to me like person number one's pretty stable. I think that there's a third party involved in this situation for them. They're afraid. They want to apologize. They're surrendering. They're surrendering this situation. They're talking to their spirit guides and they're asking. They're like, I love this person. They could be dealing with, who am I talking to? Scorpio. So there's an ace of air here. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is who you could be dealing with. But it's also like a new beginning. It's about telling the truth, right? And it's coming out with the spirit guide assistance. So I feel like it's possible that spirit is showing you some kind of truth that you didn't know, either about this person or about your situation, right? I do see you letting go over here. Yeah, there's a dark night of the soul happening. And I feel like that happened, that was triggered by this, this sabotaging behavior. And I think that you're the one that did it, person number one. The dragonfly is bringing in freedom and a new beginning. And this seduction thing is, and even though I don't have reversals in my deck, this came out reversed, this toxicity. So I feel like that's why the dragonfly came out with it. I feel like this person over here has a pattern, a toxic pattern of possibly multiple partners hooking up, you know, just and that's why the dragonfly is here, is freeing person number one from this behavior. Like this toxic behavior is upside down, right? So I feel like something big is changing there. Let's look at this addiction. Okay, so this looks like, give me one more. I don't know, person number two, I don't know if they're married or if you guys were married together. But there's something happening with this addiction for person number two. I feel like they're remembering something, like maybe that this was a toxic pattern. Maybe that was brought to their attention right around springtime. which is kind of like now. Wow, my hair looks stupid, doesn't it? It's because I'm hot. I'm sorry. Looks like I'm there. That's a little better. Okay. So let's check on wedding rings here. Why is the wedding rings here for person number 2? It's either like someone's married or someone wants to be married or something, right? Thinking about it, contemplating it. Tell me about the axe. So this is like silent treatment, separation, sabotage, abandonment, right? So, yeah, that's what this makes them feel like, person number 2. Whether they caused this or not. I'm assuming they didn't because they're the chaser, right? So I feel like this kind of fucked up in some kind of way. You know, it kind of caused some emotional shattering in their mind. You know, fragmenting. Tell me about the chaser. What is the chaser here for? Show me. So the chaser has abandonment issues, you know? But here's what I'm getting. I'm getting that this person continually picks the same kind of person. And it looks to me like this person, what they're picking is this person, person number 1. This is the person that has some kind of toxic sexual pattern. And they are working through it and changing. But this person, they get involved with people like this on a regular. So they're really wondering, like they're going through something here. Like they're saying to themselves, why do I always pick people that just want other people? I feel rejected and lost and fragmented. And it's telling me that you have a lot of growth coming, person number 2. Like this is changing and it's growing for you. It's all happening in divine timing. So just be prepared for it, right? So you're thinking about everything. Like you're thinking about your relationship, how much fun you had. You can't stop thinking about this person over here. Because North Node. It's because you think they're part of your purpose, right? You know they're part of your purpose. You feel guilty. You feel like it wasn't fair. Like you didn't act fair. Clarify twin flame for me. Clarify the twin flame card over here for person number 2. Yeah, transformation. This twin flame relationship actually transforms someone. Scorpio, it might even be you because, I mean, it's the Pluto card and that's your ruling planet. So this twin flame relationship might actually like trigger a transformation inside of you, which makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you. Okay, let's look at the romance angels. Tell me what's going on with the romance angels. Separation. Time apart from your partner. Okay. Stay optimistic. Clarify this seduction and upside down toxic card for me. Show me one. The children card comes out. Your love life is being affected by children. So I'm wondering if somebody's having a child, or about to, or thinking about it, or maybe it's like not on purpose. But that's what's clarifying this pattern, and the pattern of it changing is the child. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? So maybe that's... Tell me about the dragonfly, the new opportunity. Tell me about that. I think that has something to do with the kid. Because, like, these two are kind of like trust, just trust. So, yeah, I kind of feel like there might be a child coming into the mix here. Like, I don't know if someone's having a baby, maybe. But there's a child that's turning somebody's life completely in another direction. So let's check out what person number 2 has in flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy toward others. Person number 2 just keeps calling in the soulmate. They're really hooked on the passion, right? So I feel like there's a breakthrough happening for you guys, but I feel like it's, you know, it's separate. You're separately healing. You know how some people think that they heal together, but not here. This is definitely separate. And there's a child or children that are changing your patterns. It doesn't, I guess it doesn't really, I was trying to think of like what it could mean, you know? It could be like maybe if you're older like me, maybe one of your older kids tells you something like, wow, that's crazy. Or maybe you see it with them. Maybe they're in the same toxic pattern. So here's your advice for both of these people, 1 and 2, is the Chariot card. Move, embrace, and a well-deserved reward. I feel like there's movement coming. I feel like there's an ending to that cycle. There's an ending to the cycle that you guys are in. And it's happening with this Chariot movement. Do you see on this one, like what's actually happening is you have these 2 hands and a heart, and then you have all this energy going in and out, both of them, tying them together, you know? The 21 card is the World card, and it's about an end of a cycle, an end of a tough cycle, and embracing the brand new cycle, which is different and beautiful. And it's really got a good vantage point. There's a lot of money involved here, stability, right? And enlightenment. And I think the enlightenment's the most important part. And so that's what's happening with you guys. Hopefully that made sense for you, Scorpio. Okay, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, what's happening with Sagittarius? With the person that they're blocked from. What's going on with Sag? Person number 1, person number 2. I think person number 1 is working on themselves and focusing on joy, happiness, stability. I think they enjoy the company of person number 2. They also enjoy the company of their own self. Person number 2. Person number 2 is sad. They missed you. I feel like they're, you know, there's a mirror here, so I feel like there was obviously some mirroring going on. And they also have a lot of love. And I see a lot of love on both people's sides. But person number one is very sad. Person number two is real sad about it. Person number one is loving themselves and having a great time is what I feel like. So I feel like they're not, you know, sitting in that place feeling sorry for themselves or nothing. They're ascending. They're working with spirit. They're, you know, just getting on with their life, which is a smart thing to do. Okay, let's get some cards over here for person number one. Okay, so they're getting, wow. This is crazy because I don't really shuffle reverse. But like all of these cards came out reverse. We got deception, disharmony, and projection. These are all in reverse, right? So they're really focusing on what they want, not what would happen. They're focusing on wish fulfillment. They're ascending. They're not in any way being like suffering. They're just like over it. Their higher self is leading the way. That's pretty good. Oh. So I feel like person number one could be thinking about going on a trip, could be thinking about going and seeing this person. Thoughts of travel. They could be thinking about just going on a vacation too. I think they're watching you. Oh, person number one's watching person number two. Sorry about that. And I think whatever they're seeing makes them feel confused. Let's look at person number two, like separation. What's going on here? They want to get back together. They're expecting it, in fact, you know? Tell me about the wedding rings over here. This person is either wants to marry you or you are married, right? Yeah, they just want to, they want a redo. They do. Tell me about the mirror. Okay, so there was something that happened that was unexpected, and what happened, whatever it was that you, person number one showed person number two, it was like a lightning bolt, like a storm, right? And they started, this person over here just started really taking care of themselves because of it. Tell me about Cupid's arrow, because like Cupid's arrow is about, it's about the other realms helping out with love, right? And I feel like they feel like that's what this relationship is about, right? Also, I think there's some kind of cycle completing for them. Yeah, they want to tell you the truth. What is the truth? That they are bound to toxic patterns. They want help with the change, you know? They feel guilty because they may have had a part in sabotaging this. They want a renewal. They just have a lot of love and like attraction toward you. So I think they want a new cycle with you, right? I think they want to get together and they want to tell you. And I think that they are under the impression that if they could just tell you the truth about their, whatever this is, this toxic pattern that they're in, that maybe it would change the way things are. you know? But you are, our person number one is very, very much coming from love at all on all ways around it, right? They're forgiving and learning. And they're just trying to release you. Number two, they're trying to just release you and trust their higher self. And they know that they have to love themselves first, and so they are. So let's look at person number two. What's person number two doing? Person number two, the angels are saying, like, it's time to take your power back. Yeah. But what they want to do is have one more damn chance with you. They want to, here's the thing. Here's what I see. Who am I talking to? Scorpio or Sag? I thought I was on Sag, but I forgot to write the time. Okay, so here's what they're thinking of, though. Like, I feel like they just feel like if they could have one more chance, that that you guys could recapture that feeling that you had, you know. But the angels are saying someone wasn't being honest in this relationship, you know. Someone was wearing a mask. Someone was putting on a false face, you know. And I don't know if it's person number one or person number two, but that's what the angels are saying. Like, they're saying, like, there was someone that wasn't even honest. And I don't know. I think Spirit is saying to person number two, like, dude, you gotta free yourself, let this shit go, and then we're gonna help you, you know? It doesn't mean they have to, I mean, you do have to just say, like, I give up trying to control this thing. Like, I'm just gonna walk away and whatever happens, happens. That's kind of what I'm getting off of that number two person. Person number one says, I bury myself in work to forget about you. I am afraid to contact you. I feel you leaving me behind. It was my fault, but I blamed you. Wow. Person number one seems to me to be the one that's got their shit together a little more than person number two, you know? Person number two says, finding out the truth crushed me, so I wonder what they found out. I replay our conversations over and over. I want to tell you how I feel. I lost myself. I knew what I was doing, and I left you before you could leave me. So a lot of, like, game playing here, and, like, and it is kind of, like, deceptive, mask wearing, right? I left you before you could leave me. That's bullshit. I get it, but it's still, it just still isn't true, you know? Like, if you feel like someone's pulling away and you just say, okay, fuck off, that's not really being true to yourself, because you didn't even know. You didn't feel like that. It doesn't look like over here. Okay, so I see a new beginning here with the Ace of Pentacles. And I also see, like, a meeting of the minds, like meeting up with your soul and figuring all of these things out, because there's decisions, there's clarity that you need to get, you know? And yeah. So I feel like it's saying to you, like, do some breathing work. Trying to contact your inner soul too. Your own soul is a magical experience, you know? And I feel like both of these cards could be showing that, you know, like there's the Four of Swords, which is, you know, in regular tarot, it's like about healing. But the Ace of Cup or Ace of Pentacles is usually like a new beginning in Pentacles, you know. But this is actually showing a spiritual experience, you know. Like, I don't know if that's you meeting up with yourself, your own soul, or, you know, or if you're, you know, learning some kind of new spiritual thing, like mediumship or something could be, right? But whatever's happening, you're getting clarity here, and it's causing a change, both of you, both people. So again, I want to say, like, you know, people come into our life and they hurt us and they trigger us and they mirror us, and then we grow. Whether we get back together with them or not is like, it's almost irrelevant. You know what I mean? Did you do the growing? You know, did you learn this stuff? Did you do the breathing? Did you find your soul? Did they trip that trigger for you? Because that's why they're here. You know, that's why they came. That's why you two met. Like, I don't know. But sometimes it's not about being a happily ever after. It's about reaching that higher level of knowledge, freedom. You know what I mean? Okay, I think that was Sagittarius. So, I have 3 left. 2, 24, 6. So, will someone that's on here, because I see there's 3 people, do you guys know, did I just do Sagittarius? Because I think I did, but I didn't write down the time, which is okay, I can do it later, but I just don't want to skip anyone, you know? So, we just have no chatters? Well, if I have a chatter, will you chat? Will you tell me if I just read Sag? Okay, Capricorn is where I'm going to go next. Capricorn, person 1, person 2. Person 1 and person 2. Oh, shit. Okay. Person 1. So it looks like there could be, I see separation and wedding rings for Capricorn. I see a phoenix, so something big's changing. I feel like there's someone calling you that's a soulmate. Okay. Person number 1. Okay, so I see separation, I see wedding rings, and then I see the phoenix. Rising from the ashes, something starting all over again. There's a love call and a soulmate card. So we'll clarify that in a second. And then I see person number 2 loving themselves in a really great way. Getting very stable inside yourself. I see a lot of changes that you've made. But I also feel like there's someone in your life, person number 2, which is probably person number 1, since that's what we're asking about. There's someone that is a karmic relationship in your life that you feel like they are the only one for you, is what I'm seeing. So, all right, tell me about this relationship. Separation. There's going to be a reunion here. It is a soul tie. But it's been at a standstill for a while. But yeah, it's definitely coming back around. So I feel like there's someone that is married that's in separation. The Phoenix is here, which means like, you know, that's like rising from the ashes. Like you thought it was over and then it's not. Clarify the Phoenix for Capricorn. This is divine intervention, right? I feel like there's something, like there was something in this relationship that was almost like, you know, somebody trying to control the other person or to control the outcome or whatever. And it's over. Like that's what's stopping. So I feel like it, I don't know, it could be either person that's doing the controlling, but it's over. Like it's changed. That's what happened with the Phoenix. The control issues are over. Control tactics, right? The love call. So there's a phone call coming. It's either you making it or them. It is someone that you have a soul connection with, a soul contract. This is someone that is a wish fulfillment. It's also someone that makes you stronger. They bring you happiness. They bring you strength. They bring you everything the sun brings. Happiness, joy, light, right? Tell me, give me one more about this soulmate connection. It's a brand new beginning. Yeah, earth sign. So I feel like this is a stable thing going on down here. Person number one, lots going on here, lots of changes. Tell me about person number two. I see them just getting really solid in themselves, right? They look solid, but they're scared. They're trying to end that cycle of fear. Yeah. Tell me about the dragonfly. I just see a huge, like, huge transformation over here, too. You have the Phoenix over there. You have equally transformative cards here. You guys are really mirroring each other here. Tell me about the dragonfly for person number two for Capricorn. Okay, so there's going to be some kind of huge transformation, and then it says spirit guides here. So I feel like you're being guided through it, through the transformation, you know? That's why you're loving yourself so much. It's spirit that's giving you that assistance. Like this week, what I've gotten a lot off of this reading is like, thank you, Polly. What I'm getting is what stimulates the transformation in this person number two is self-love, and it's your spirit guides that are doing it. Yeah, you've got to rebirth it. I mean, it's crazy, but yeah, there's new growth here. There's a new life. So the karmic relationship. Okay. So there's this karmic relationship, and I'm clarifying it because it's here, right? This person thinks about it all the time. This is also, there's the party card, comfort zone card, and contract, career, and commitment card. So I feel like this is changing, you know, like, because you have up here, like, you're completing this cycle, right? And I think it's all about a karmic relationship. And it's a certain type of karmic relationship. It could be like a heavy party kind of atmosphere, but it's something that makes you feel at ease or like you belong there, right? So maybe that's your comfort zone, is to be a life of the party kind of person. It's what you're thinking about here. about this karmic, right? But then you've got this card saying right next door to it, and it's the heart with the key. Welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart. And it's also about one person only having the key to your heart, you know? So let's just ask. I want a card to show me who this is that's got the magic key to Capricorn's heart. Okay. It looks to me like it's a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. New beginning in love. Could mean that too, right? I feel like this could be somebody that you know from another life. You know, I feel like they're helping you unlock something inside yourself with an inner child. Like, maybe even like, I don't know, like it's got something to do with the self-love above it, you know, because it's like got that self-love card and you got the spirit guides helping and everything. You're unlocking something inside yourself, Capricorn, that's really beautiful. It's a flow in yourself, you know? It begins with a very young piece of you, you know? This is happening because it's time to happen. This is the Wheel of Fortune card. Go with the flow. You're in harmony with it, right? And then you have this new beginning. I feel like kind of once you get to this place where you're like really loving on yourself, person number 2, I feel like honestly you have a brand new decision to make. And I think this karmic relationship that person number 2 has been hanging on to, I think you're going to cut it loose because you love yourself more than that. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking about it. You're thinking about the karmic relationship, you know? But I feel like you're going to be loving on yourself, and that's going to change everything. It's going to change your vibe. It's going to change what you attract. Give me messages for both 1 and 2 about this journey that they're on together. What are they learning? What can they do to help themselves here? So this person number 1 is letting go of like control issues or being controlled, right? I also see them like letting go of like, I don't know, some kind of sadness. They're kind of feeling rejuvenated. Yeah. And honestly, I feel like this relationship actually is workable. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this is a karmic relationship or not. It says that it's a soulmate relationship. And I think anybody who spends more than a minute in our life, sometimes even just a minute, but I think people that make an impact on us are our soul friends. So anyway, what I see is for the 2 of you is, first of all, change your focus on to something beautiful, something that's in front of you, something instead of like the lost. Like this person over here is bummed out about losing person number 2. And person number 2 is like on their own journey of healing over here. I think both of you are going to heal. And I think you've got the 6 of Wands here. You're both going to be very successful no matter what you do. What's the most likely outcome for these guys, though? Don't you want to know? I'm just going to split this deck. Death and rebirth. So it's either like you guys are going to let go of some old shit that doesn't work in this thing, or it's like you guys are moving on, you know? Like you're moving on and you're going to have a whole new relationship with someone else, right? So that is what I have for you. So Aquarius is next. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Remember that song? You guys old enough to know? Thanks everybody for pressing the like button. I appreciate it so much. Okay. Person number one. Person number one is definitely on the DL spying on you. On person number two. Now, I don't know if you guys are engaged, but I see the engagement ring here. So this could be something that either happened or is on their mind. They are in love with person number two unconditionally. They also love themselves. They focus on what's in front of them and what they love. They focus on what they have, their abundance, their gifts. And they are manifestors. Person number two, wedding rings, self-love, addiction, and healing. So, that's what's going on here. Okay, so either you're engaged and like one person's thinking about engagement, the other one's thinking about marriage. So obviously you two have some kind of deep bond, right, Aquarius? Person number one is on kind of like on the down low spying. You know, I don't like that card, that sunglass card. It makes me feel like, you know, like a stalker kind of vibe, you know, like they're not even letting you know that they're stalking you. Yeah. So here we got this like facade. I feel like that goes with the sunglass thing. Okay, so here's what's coming out to clarify these. We've got self-love and self-care, right? And I also see like them suffering and feeling lack because of this separation. They could be traveling. They could be thinking about sending a message because they love you and they don't want to let it go. Yeah, here's the other spy card. Like, fuck you, person number one. What kind of a freak is like just spying like crazy here? I'm sorry, but that's what it makes me feel like. Okay, let's see what the abundance is. Because Spirit is saying to person number one, hey, if you focus on abundance, on gratitude, on being happy and grateful for what you already have, stability's coming in, harmony's coming in, healing is coming in. This person is got some huge inner child wounding. They have a lack mentality in their past. They probably always have, but they put on this pretend face, you know, like they're just all love. They're very, very masculine and they're very, very ego-centered, you know. That's what I'm seeing here. Who am I talking to? Aquarius. Okay, so I don't know who this person is, but I feel like they're just fake. I got the facade card, 2 spying cards, right? Let me look at the wedding ring up here. What's going on for person number 2 with the wedding ring? Chemistry. There's a lot of chemistry and passion here. So that's probably what's keeping this person kind of hooked, right? But they are working on themselves. They're loving themselves. Person number 2 is definitely doing a deep dive and figuring out exactly how much value they do have, right? And you want to know what happens? New opportunities. Uranus. Check and see where Uranus is at right now and what house it's in your life, because you might find out something really big there and maybe a hint on how to get going a little faster or further, right? Something big is happening. It's a new beginning. You didn't really see it coming, It is so good for you. Let's check out the addiction card. Why is it here? This could be about codependent relationships. It could be about sex abuse. I mean, sex addiction, I'm sorry. This could be about someone that's just blocking out love, that doesn't really let anyone in. It could be about having an obsessive kind of personality, you know, like you're obsessed with someone, you know, maybe because of the passion, right? It could be about a real addiction too, you know, like drugs, alcohol, whatever. It fucks you up. Person number 2, I just want to show you. These came out together. This addiction, whatever it is, this loss, it could even be about the loss. Did the loss cause the addiction? I don't know. Give me one more card on the addiction, the rejection, and the loss. Okay. So these 3 cards came out, and right next door to the addiction and the rejection is the healing card. This is you healing yourself from heartbreak. It's actually understanding that you're free. This is freedom from a toxic relationship or an addiction. So that came out right next door to the addiction. And here's what came out with healing heart. So you have a breakthrough here. Like something's happening. Remember up here where you're taking care of yourself? There's a new opportunity. Thank you, Uranus. Uranus surprises you with something. It gives you a new opportunity, and it gives you a whole new perspective of your life. It suddenly makes you feel like that. Like you're playing and splashing and jumping in the water. You have a brand new idea and you're so excited. It's a breakthrough. Your thoughts are changing. You're starting to get messages from your higher self, from the other realms, from your spirit guides. Wow. Person number 2 is awesome. I do see like this addiction like really turning around. I'm so excited about that. Like whether it's a like codependency or whatever. So what else is coming out here? Okay. Take a little bit of time out. I also feel like there's something beautiful in your family. Something beautiful in your family that is going to be blessed by something, right? Because what's happening is they're asking you to be open to receive blessings for your family. Wow, that's pretty good. Let's see if person number 1 could talk to person number 2. I know that I crossed the line. This is the person that's kind of, I just feel dick energy over here. Just dick. I don't know. It's so spying and masculine. Look at the masculine card. Like he doesn't even show his face. He's just all about that hard, ripped body. I mean, so ego-centered, right? This person wants to tell you how they feel. They knew what they were doing and they were lost, is what they're saying to you. Hello, free will. Thank you. We're here doing a live stream of the longest tarot reading in history. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for liking. Thanks for saying hi. All right, person number 2, what do you want to say to person number 1? All right, they don't react when people mention you. I wish I had treated you better. Sometimes I think about you all night. I know I was just a distraction from your pain. And you don't know how hard it was to let you go. So person number 2 is a little hung up here. But person number 2, you are on your way to healing. Person number 1 is healing as well. But it's on a little bit different level. Like, I think they're still kind of feeling sorry for themselves and like almost obsessed. So they're not to this place where they're actually working on themselves, but I do feel like you are, or number 2 is, I don't know who I'm talking to. Person number 2 is on their way to a really big transformation in their life. And I don't know. Should we ask what the most likely outcome is with this person that you're thinking about? We'll just ask this. We'll just cut this one deck. Will person number 1 and person number 2 have a reconciliation? It says choose a new direction. Let's ask, anything else? Yeah, just trust. So trust whatever's going on in your life. Keep working on yourself. Within the next few months, there's going to be something new. So I feel like you have a big blessing coming, Aquarius. Okay. So I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like that person on the left-hand side is pretty toxic still. So if you guys are resonating with side number 2, I think just keep loving yourself, you know? 246. Yeah. Okay, Pisces. Here we are at Pisces at the very end. Okay, Pisces. Spirits, angels, guys, thank you so much for this long-ass reading today. We're like at 3 hours. Tell me what's going on, Pisces, in love. Person on their mind and them. Okay. But person number 2 is going through like all kinds of transformation. You got the butterfly, the dragonfly, soulmates, and Cupid's arrow. Person number 1 is feeling like they might feel jealous. They might feel like they don't have enough to offer you. Kind of feel shitty about themselves. They also have the runner card. So they're afraid of intimacy, and they always listen to their physical. They don't listen to their higher self. So that's what the runner kind of energy is all about. This person is also like a sabotager. They sabotage shit on purpose because they can't handle it, because they don't think they deserve it, because they think they're not enough. But something's changing here for this person number 1. There's some kind of a surprise thing, a transformation, an epiphany, like a wake-up call. You know, something big is happening for this person. It looks kind of beautiful. Person number 2 is definitely on a journey of transformation with all those cards. So let's clarify. Okay, so not enough. So I feel like Spirit is showing person number 1 that when they feel this way about themselves, it's what they attract. And I feel like they're kind of like pointing person number 1 into the direction of self-love, and possibly even like creating new things. It's because of the way they feel about themselves. Spirit doesn't want anyone to feel like that. They really don't. Like, they are all about, your higher self is all about trying to, the human trying to find the soul, you know, and like hook up. There went I gotta switch whichever phone is plugged in, right? Well, I hope I have enough room. Sorry, you guys. I have to scoot you over. So not a lot of planning goes into my studio action here, like I have a studio, right? Shit. Not really. Okay. Okay, so here we are. Is that better? Okay. All right, so this is what's happening with person number 2. I feel like spirit guides are assisting this person number 1, I mean. Okay? Because this person is just, they just sit around and they feel like they're a fuck up all the time. Like they feel like they just fuck shit up. And spirit's like, hey man, stop with the way you're talking to yourself, would you? What are you running away from, by the way? Clarify the runner. Yeah, they feel rejected. They don't want to feel, they're so scared of it. Like they felt rejected their whole life as a child. And now that they're an adult, like they're just like, I am not doing that again. So if someone comes in and they get a little too close, they're like, fuck, I'm out of here. It's because they don't have the ability. Like they don't even, they're scared, right? So this runner is just about ready to surrender and release this. I feel like their own higher self is like loving on them. I love this card, you guys. Do you? Their own soul is like resuscitating them, is what I feel like. All the doubts and the fears and the feeling of lack is going to be shown. I think something else is going to be shown to this person. Like, no, that's not who you are. Yeah, you went through it, but that's not who you are. You went through it so you could dig your way out of it, right? So let's see what the lightning is being clarified by. Lightning. Look, it's a dream. It is a dream, you guys. It's a message from spirit right into your own dreamland. Yeah. You know what they're showing you, person number 1? How powerful you are. Look at your head. You've got third eye action. You've got crown. You've got power in your hands with fire. This is what they're showing you in your sleep. Be ready. Be ready to take action. To understand courage that you've never had before. You know? Be ready for a brand new beginning. That's what's happening for person number 1. Let's talk about person number 2. Clarify soulmates. There's an apology. There was some kind of a breakup, and this person, number 2, is either going to apologize or they're just going to forgive you without an apology. You know, they realized that this was a commitment, it was a soul contract, and why there was so much suffering. They've let it go, though. They really have. They're butterflying out of there. They've been in the cocoon long enough. Brand new. I think person number 2 is working on themselves to the point where they might just come in and ask you for a date. Like, do you want to go on a date? Another date? A new date? Something. You've got autumn and harvest. So harvest is kind of like reaping the benefits of all the work you've put in this love situation, and that's what's clarifying the butterfly, you know. Cupid's arrow. Have faith, love is coming. I see strength. I see empowerment. I see a whole new person number 2, you know. They're free now. They have new opportunities. Person number 2 is going right after it. So, yeah, you know what this is about? It's about the North Node. I feel like they got some kind of information about what their soul purpose is, and they're like, man, I feel like I need to get on that path. I haven't been on that path. This is my purpose, right? And so you're being shown the purpose, and I feel like you're being put on to that path. Be open to receive. Something beautiful is going to be like redone for you. Rebirth is here, right? By winter time. So here that's November, December, January-ish. Let's see if, let's get the romance angels. Let's get some romance messages. I think Dan's gone, Julie. Okay, person number one, this is a past life relationship. You know it. Or you will, if you didn't before. I think Spirit's showing you. There's could be something that, yeah, saying make the effort. And maybe there's like a new chance here for this relationship, or there could be a new love coming. Someone brand new. That's not this person, right? Tell me about person number two for the romance angels. Tell me what's going on for them with this card deck. Okay. Yeah, they need to free themselves from something and start like kind of, I don't know, finding that inner child and playing with it and bringing that reality of that self to the surface. Do you know what I mean? Let's see if person number one could say something to person number two, what they say. I want to feel that way again. I love you. I wish things could be different. I love you unconditionally. Yeah. Person number one, totally loving on person number two. Tell me what person number two feels like. I feel like person number two is doing like so much. It was my fault, they say. It's my fault. I blamed you. My life is not as together as it seems, and I couldn't let you get close to me, and I'm waiting for a sign. And I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. Tell me what the spiritual lesson was for this person number two. Just tell me what it was. The spiritual lesson is the Six of Wands, which is about fame, fortune, and success, and manifesting. So it's very possible that the spiritual lesson that person number one taught person number two was that they could manifest. Maybe they showed them maybe how, or they just pointed it out, like how connected they were, you know, and maybe something about timing as well, like waiting for the perfect time, something like that. Tell me what the outcome is for these two. Person number one, person number two. What's the most likely outcome? And what's the advice for these guys? There's a coming together here, so yeah. I feel like, yeah, success again. That Six of Wands again. So you've got the Emperor, the Six of Cups, which is someone from your past, and then you've got success and growth. So that's the most likely outcome. Is I feel like there's, if you really want it, and whoever's in the shadow needs to step out of the shadows into the front of their life and start really taking good care of themselves. nurturing your inner child, like mostly focusing on you. The rest comes in when you're vibing where you're doing the self-love, and the other person is too. But you guys vibe at the same level. That's when it works out. I feel like there's a really good probability of this working out if you want it to, you know. So I guess it's really up to you at the end of the day, just like always. Do what you want. But I really feel like these love readings are all about, like, they're always about making sure to love yourself first, take care of yourself first, know what you love to do, and do those things for yourself. And when you start doing those things, that's when, I don't know, your vibe changes, just the way you are. You think about it. If you spend the whole day doing something you love, what's the end of the day look like? Pretty happy, smiling, excited, go to bed excited, have good dreams, that kind of thing. So love yourself, you guys. I think at the end of the day, that's what every love reading tells me. Love yourself first, man. That's the most important part. And with that, I will leave you. I want to tell you thank you. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, pressing the like button, all that stuff. I appreciate your company too. And I hope you have a great day. I wonder how come I can't shut that off. There's something weird going on with the